Okay, so you know what? I'm going to spoil you today. 2 videos in one day in the lead up to Elimination Chamber. I wasn't going to talk about this, but having a second read through, I do want to dive into this. So shall we take a look at the 2K23 roster? Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Ewan McQuaid, and today we are talking about WWE 2K23. In particular, we are reacting to the roster. Now, before we dive into that, please hit subscribe, please like this video, please comment down below your thoughts on the roster and anyone you'd like to see in the game going forward as we dive into WWE 2K23. Now, I think we can all agree that WWE are in a difficult position when it comes to gaming and their rosters. So a lot of the times games add updates of new stars and stuff like that, but particularly in WWE 2K20 and to an extent 2K22, there were mass releases. Vince McMahon swung the axe, therefore meaning that in 2K20, people who were in the game were no longer with the company, and vice versa, people who were in the game were also no longer with the company. I don't know if that made sense, but let's go with that. And yeah, we've got the new roster for WWE 2K23, the full confirmed roster, Legends, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, the lot. And I think, personally, this is one of the best rosters in years. Now, looking at a roster in a WWE game is often derivative of the roster itself. If you are in a bad era of WWE, you are not going to get a great roster in the game. I think back to WWE, even though it's an incredible game, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 didn't have a particularly great roster. 2009 did not have a great roster. I can remember that vividly. So at that point, it resembles the product if you have a good roster, essentially. I'm sorry if you can hear like tapping as well, like that. If you can't hear that, then don't worry. But dog interlude, that's my dog. Taking a deep dive into the 2K23 roster, there's some really exciting additions, some really exciting prospects in here of people that I would potentially like to play as, and there is some big omissions probably coming in the form of DLC. So let's have a look, shall we? So the ones I want to talk about are the new additions to the roster. So some of these are new to 2K23. They have been in games before, but some of the highlights for me, I'm not going to go down the full roster. I do apologise. This is not a big roster reveal where you can watch that. Other YouTube channels probably do that a lot better. I'm just talking about the ones that I want to talk about. Obviously, you've got the big guys. You've got Cody Rhodes in the game, of course. You've got Braun Breaker, the NXT champion. I think a lot of people were expecting that as well. And then you've got the one that stands out to me the most, and the one I'm really excited because I can't remember the last time he was in a game, and that is Bruno Sammartino. I put out on Twitter that I was really excited to see Bruno Sammartino in a game, and yeah, he's going to be one of the legends. I think that's great to represent classic eras of wrestling, because so often with WWE, they can often cut off at the start of the Attitude Era. That's all the sort of thing you get with the odd Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. But no, they've gone really far back, putting Bruno Sammartino in the game, so I'm really happy with that. Kurt Angle is back in the game, thank God for that, because we love Kurt Angle. And then the NXT stars, you've got a lot. This is one of the biggest hitting divisions in 2K23, because often the NXT rosters feel a little bit thin, but this one is actually quite stacked. So you've got the likes of Alba Fire, who obviously Kaylee Ray, she's been in the game before. You've got Braun Breaker, like I said. You've got Gigi Dolan. You've got JC Jane, Toxic Attraction in there. You've got Nikita Lyons, Bia Mahan. He's coming. He's finally coming. And Zoe Stark, yeah, you've got some cool. Noam Dar's back. I love Noam Dar. Noam Dar is just criminally underused on WWE television, so I'm really happy that he's back. So that's really, really strong. I think the Raw and SmackDown rosters, to be honest, are pretty much what we expected them to be. There's one glaring omission main roster-wise, who I think we all know why He's not in the base game. Just let me scroll down to ensure that he is not in the base game. He is definitely not in the base game. Definitely not. And I'm sure he's going to be in the first wave of DLC. And that is moving on to, of course, some of the omissions. You, of course, have Bray Wyatt is not in WWE 2K23. I think he is obviously coming as DLC. As soon as possible, we will get him down the line. The other one that is big to me is Mandy Rose. I think that must be an issue of they've taken her out straight away, because I can't imagine she was not going to be in the game, given she was NXT Women's Champion before Christmas. So yeah, all that stuff that went down with Mandy Rose, I think, really sort of had an impact on that. Really had an impact on her being in the game. But other than that, I think it's an incredibly solid roster. Just scrolling through it, you've got a lot of top level talent in this game, and new guys that I'm really excited to play as. Carmelo Hayes. Really excited to play as Carmelo Hayes. I think it's going to be great. I'm really excited for WWE 2K23. Hopefully getting mine. When's it? The early date? 11th of March, deluxe edition. That's the copy that I want, and I'm so excited to pick it up and play it and have more thoughts coming your way. So yeah, that is it. That is the roster. That is the 2K23 roster right there. Do you like it? Are you a fan? Is there anyone you want to see in the game? Anyone I'd want to see in the game as DLC? I'll tell you what I would really love for them to do. I know I was wrapping up the video, but I've had this other thought. I would really love Bray Wyatt and The Fiend. If they've still got The Fiend stuff left over, I'd like to have them as two separate playable characters, because The Fiend was just total fire, let's be honest. The entrance, everything. I'd love to have The Fiend, and then you could have Bray Wyatt versus The Fiend. That'd be cool. That'd be sick. That's my one wish for DLC. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll try and apply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.